Hey Taylor, Travis here from Pegasus Online. Today I'm going to go over our proposal for kind of a facelift or an update to the original Warren Reed site. Here you can see I'm on the original Warren Reed site, and this is what we propose to do with that site. So as you can see here, there's a lot of fun differences just right off the bat. But first, I need to kind of step out and kind of show you how to use the software that we're actually looking at. Because this is really just a rough prototyping tool. But what it allows us to do, and I just hit escape there. And to go back to the full screen mode, you can just click that button there. But it allows you to actually create comments. So say you want to change something, maybe these aren't the buttons you were thinking of for the Google Play Store or something like that. So you can just drag the comment and place it right there. So any comment that you create, I know exactly what you're talking about, where you're where you're talking, I guess. So I'm just going to hit cancel. Always make sure to hit submit, and that's what actually saves it. And you don't have to worry about keeping the window open, because as soon as you hit submit, it's done. It's saved in the cloud. So yeah, so I'll just kind of step through a couple things to talk about before we dive in. Actually, first we're using stock filler images. For some of the images here, so you can see the watermark, and they might be a little fuzzy and things like that. The second thing is we're using a Latin filler text. That text will be replaced with the content on your current site. So yeah, with that, we'll dive in. So I'm going to actually expand this full screen, and I'd recommend you expand your browser window until you get these white bars around the outside. You can kind of see that. What that means is you're viewing the site in its 1-to-1 ratio, which means everything will look correct when viewing it. So I kind of like to size it up so you can kind of view it as if it's in its natural state, like that. So now you know the size of the fonts and things like that. Yeah, so we'll start up here at the header. That's kind of the main muscle in the site now. Franklin had this idea because originally I was placing the phone numbers up here, but we ran into this issue where it wasn't very expandable for you. We wanted something that you could open up another office and then add another phone number and kind of keep doing that. So Franklin came up with this idea of kind of creating a drawer. The other option was creating a drop down that kind of displayed them below. But let me show you what this does. So when I click for phone, the phone numbers actually get displayed up here, and as you can see, there's room for probably one more phone number, but it definitely gives you more flexibility than the other one. And then you can hit this X up here, or you can click this button again, and it will actually close that drawer for you. So it's that simple. And in the prototype, you can kind of click that and play with it, kind of see how it works. I'll kind of go through the site because what we're actually proposing is not modifying your current site. Our developers looked at it, and a lot of pieces are just it sounds crazy, but they're just out of date. So what we'd have to do is kind of update a lot of individual pieces, and it just kind of becomes a ball of rubber bands. We start tugging on one, and something else might break on the other end. So what we thought was the most cost-effective option was actually doing something we don't do for anybody, but we're thinking in this case it's probably the best way, which is just giving you a new site with the current blocks you're using. So basically what we're going to do is just kind of rebuild what you have in our latest and newest framework, which gives you all our speed optimization pieces and most current libraries and things like that. So you kind of will have a fresh start from this point forward. Everything will be updated, including all the bug fixes that we've done over the years too. So the first piece is obviously this header. This is what we call the classic header. One thing about this, though, is it doesn't stay this way the whole time. This is just a rough prototyping tool. what actually happens is this logo will shrink when you start scrolling down. This tagline will disappear, and this header will actually slide up a little bit. So the navigation will kind of just end right just underneath that phone number. So it kind of morphs and shrinks down. So that way when you're actually scrolling through the site, you're not taking up all the screen real estate for the logo and all that stuff. The logo will still be there. It'll just be quite a bit smaller over here. So below that, we have your splash area. In our old splash area, we used to have a slider here, but because that was just a little bit too slow, we removed the slider capability. So that's one of the biggest things you're going to lose in the new site is the slider piece, but you're going to gain a much faster website. And what we found is that you have 3 seconds to give people a decision, and that's really where we're leaning our sites these days, is just giving people that quickest experience. So the site downloads very, very, very quickly and allows people to see exactly what you do. We do have some modifications here. So this is our typical content area, but I wanted to create a second section here that allows you to put in your download the app kind of section here. So I have a space for a title, a little bit of text so you can describe what it is, and then of course the Google Play icons there. Below that we have a see more button. When you click this, it actually takes you down to the next section, and then this will be the new top content area is what we call it. We used to call it the top 4, but now we're calling it top content. And so you understand how this piece works because this is what you currently have on your site. We do have some improvements on this block over the years. We've found ways to make mobile look and work a little bit better. We also have a floating logo over here when you're not hovered over anything, and then that logo disappears. But it actually just floats over the background image. Below that, we get into your YS area. Here we have the 2 title system above, and then of course we have the content below. Your flex sections, kind of changed the logo, wanted this to be a little bit larger, so I kind of wrapped the logo inside of this sort of pill shape here. And below that you can see we have this subtle detail here at the end. And I don't know why I need to update this, but I did kind of rig this entire first section to be a top content area. I probably just need to update the link. So here we have or sorry, not top content, the your mobile app section. So my idea here was you could put information about the mobile app here, and then you could click download today, and it would take you to a page that would have both these icons, and it would allow people to download it from there. So that's another point where you can add your mobile app. Let me move back. So I'm going to update this and just make sure. I thought I did at the beginning of this, but whatever. So we're moving forward. Here's your other flex sections, and then below that we get into your featured testimonial area. There have been some improvements on this too over the years, so you would be getting this new block as well. And then finally we get into the contact area at the bottom. So what I'm proposing is to kind of create repeater fields that allow you to add as many phone numbers as you need. Here, this section would just get longer and taller. It might start to look a little weird if we got, beyond this point. So I would really kind of choose what phone numbers you want to display here. What's the most important, I guess, to display here. But right now we have 4 in here. It seems to be working pretty good. You could probably put a 5th, and it wouldn't break the site at all. So that's kind of the idea here for this section. Below that we have email, contact blurb, and then here we have the icons, including the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store icon, and then of course a contact now button. And then lastly we get into your foot logo and then your foot copyright information there. So if you click anywhere in the site, it'll actually take you to the proposed subpage. So this is an example of what the About Us page would look like, or any of the pages within this area here. So they would all have this same general look. And as you can see, the header would be at the top of every screen. It would also scroll down with you as you're scrolling. And then you would have the foot copyright or foot contact area at the bottom of every screen as well. If you click this again, I want to just show how the mobile piece would look, since that's going to be a big aspect of the header. So when you click on the click to see phone or click for phone, you can kind of see it just kind of opens up like a drawer. And it's displaying those 3 numbers that we had in the header originally. And you can close it like that too. So that's kind of what we're proposing for this area. Like I said, it'd basically be a full update on your site. We would hire a content writer, but in order to keep the price down and it staying cost effective, the copywriter is basically just going to be copying the content from your original site and placing it into this new site. And images and things like that are going to stay the same as well. So that's what we're going to do for this site. I guess leave me comments in XD if you have any questions about anything here. If you want to move forward with this, just reach out to Franklin and he'll put together an agreement, have you sign it, and then we'll start on this right away. I put in a pretty broad timeline because the design is done, and if you approve this design immediately upon agreeing or filling out the agreement, then we could get this off to our development. It takes about a week turnaround. Content writer, I think, would take about a day to move in all your content. So realistically, we could have this all done in 7 to 10 days. For everything. I just kind of put in a broad range there. If you do need changes or anything added to it or something like that, discuss that with Franklin beforehand, because he'll adjust the quote a little bit depending on what you need. So if you need a few other pages added or some extra content added or something like that, let Franklin know, and he'll add that into the quote price for you, and we'll be able to add that work in as well too. So it will increase the time a little bit as well. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to answer. Other than that, have a good rest of your day. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.